So you might be asking yourself, what's this handle for? And the reason for this handle is the whole reason why I bought this new drill press. And the answer lies under this hood. Check it out. Looks quite a bit like a CVT for a go-kart, doesn't it? Hey guys, so I bought this here Bauer 17-inch drill press at Harbor Freight, and it came with this puny little stand compared to the old Central Machinery drill press that I had gotten from Harbor Freight years ago. I really like the head of this drill press, but I really like the base of this drill press, so I kind of just Frankenstein the two together.
Legs aren't moving, I must need maintenance.
There's been some terrible mistake.
But of course, since this base was so much smaller than the old beefier base, I had to do some modifications to make it fit better.
Tools are cool. Tools are cool. Tools are cool. Dale's tool of the day.
You can see how much bigger this base plate is than the new one. The old one had a much more robust casting. The table for the old one had a much larger footprint, nice big square base with T-slots so I can clamp my vise down. This one has a rotating swivel base with some slots that I could have mounted my vise to, but I really like the workspace and the options of having more area to work with here. Could be like Fireball Tool and just put it on a roller workbench that's a fab table.
Look at that, it rolls. I have a drill press on wheels for once.
So I was hoping when I bought this drill press that I would be able to just take the head right off of this stand and put it on my old stand, because I knew I liked this table better when I saw this one in the store. But of course, this had a lot bigger tube than this one did. It's a lot beefier of a machine. Luckily, I have a lathe and just enough knowledge to get myself in trouble. I brought the ring that fits around the new Harbor Freight drill press post that should be the same diameter as the inside of the head we want to mount. And I found this chunk of 3-inch Schedule 80 pipe. It's old and rusty, but we're going to clean it up in the lathe, so it doesn't really matter. But it should leave us enough meat on the inside of this ring and on the inside of that head that we should be good and solid. So my biggest tapered live center is too small for this, so I can't really use that. So I'm going to use this little 3-jaw scroll chuck here on a live center to chuck it up in. We'll see how that goes. So this pipe is much longer than I need to be. I don't want to hit either chuck, so I'm just going to work in the centers here. I'm going to leave one section that's still the original diameter pipe, or maybe just a skim cut to true it up to being concentric with what I'm going to cut here. I'll cut a section to go down in the old bigger tube, and then a section that's narrower to go into the newer head. Not a bad finish, not a bad finish. You know, greasy fingerprints, but other than that. Well, Ought to do. After I cut the ends off in the bandsaw, I measured how high I needed to cut it, and it was about a 1/2 inch above the collar on the column of the drill press. So I just took a chunk of 1/2 inch angle iron and used as a little guide to run my grinding wheel across to try and cut it off square. It kind of worked. A little bit of work with the sanding wheel, and it cleaned it up so I could weld that post in the middle. Perfect. Beautiful. Oh yeah, looking good. So you might be asking yourself, what's this handle for? And the reason for this handle is the whole reason why I bought this new drill press. And the answer lies under this hood. Check it out. Looks quite a bit like a CVT for a go-kart, doesn't it? The answer is it's got a variable speed transmission in here. This handle that I just screwed in on the left side here raises this up and down and transfers this pulley will get squeezed tighter, and this one will expand with spring tension so that it changes the gear ratio between the two with just the pull of a lever. I thought that was pretty neat, and I ordered it a couple months ago, and it just barely got here. Pretty excited, but it says not to adjust it without it running, so I guess I better get it running. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Then it's got a digital readout for the RPM. That's pretty cool. Gotta love that. So it's still got a 2-speed transmission. It's got a small pulley down there on the motor and a bigger one right above it, and you can swap it from there. Over here it's got a bigger pulley on the bottom and a smaller pulley up above. So you've got 2 different manual speeds and then the on-the-fly variable speed. Pretty cool. So over here it's got a little chart for different materials. You got wood, aluminum, zinc and brass, and steel and iron. And then it's got a speed range here for the different things. So like for a 1/2 inch steel, you'd want to have it at 200 to 800 RPM. And I'll tell you from experience, at a 1/2 inch through steel, I like it about 300 to 350 RPM, which is pretty good. So it'll do that. That's pretty neat. And then it's got laser crosshairs you can turn on for where to set your drill to go, and it's got adjustments to adjust all those, and it's got a light you can turn on. Alrighty, well, enough talking, let's drill a hole. So I just drilled a hole a minute ago, but it was with a used bit that wasn't the sharpest, so I swapped to a brand new DeWalt Pilot Point 1/2-inch bit. And we're going to go through some 2x2 by 3/16 square tube. And it says that I'm 310 RPM. I think this is going to do great here in the shop. I think it's going to do everything that I want here in the hobby shop. And I've got a few more upgrades that I want to make to it that'll make it more awesome. So feel free to subscribe and let me know what you think of this thing. I think this thing's cool. If you like seeing this content, I really appreciate all the subscribers. Remember, me and Jesus love you.